Actor Woody Harrelson said in a recent interview that the dinner he attended with President Trump more than a decade ago was so brutal that he had to step away to smoke pot at one point in order to get through it. Harrelson discussed the dinner, which also included First Lady Melania Trump and former Minnesota Governor Jesse Ventura, in an interview with Esquire for the magazine's September issue. "So Jesse Ventura is a buddy of mine, and he called me up on this is in 2002 and said, Donald Trump is going to try to convince me to be his running mate for the Democratic ticket in 2004. Will you be my date?" Harrelson told the magazine. "I said, yeah, man. So we all met at Trump Tower, sat down. Melania was there, only she wasn't his wife yet. And it was, let me tell you, a brutal dinner. 2.5 hours. The fun part was watching Jesse's moves," he continued. "It would look like Trump had him pinned, was going to get him to say yes, and then Jesse would slip out at the last second. Now, at a fair table with 4 people, each person is entitled to 25% of the conversation, right? I'd say Melania got about 0.1%, maybe. I got about 1%. And the governor, Jesse, he got about 3%, Harrelson said. Trump took the rest. It got so bad I had to go outside and burn one before returning to the monologue monopoly." Harrelson went on to say that, having come up through Hollywood, he's seen his fair share of narcissists, but that Trump was beyond. "It blew my mind," he said. He did say one thing that was interesting, though. He said, "You know, I'm worth $4 billion, or maybe he said $5 billion, one of those numbers, I forget. Anyway," he said, "I'm worth however many $1 billion. But when I die, no matter how much it is, I know my kids are going to fight over it." That was the one true statement he made that night, and I thought, okay, yeah, that's pretty cool, he added. The Zombieland star also discussed a time when he and Vice President Pence crossed paths while attending Hanover College. "As a freshman, I gave a sermon to a youth group, and Mike was the guy running the show," Harrelson said. "He was a junior, I think. He struck me as a nice guy, very sincere. I don't know how well we'd get along now, but we got along okay then," he added. Donald and Melania Trump recently arrived in Dayton, Ohio, to meet with the city mayor following the past weekend's mass shooting. While boarding Air Force One ahead of the visit, Melania appeared to have a frosty exchange with the U.S. president. As the pair reach the top of the steps, Donald reaches out his hand towards Melania before swiftly taking it back. The First Lady and U.S. President then waved before boarding Air Force One, with Donald holding his hand out behind Melania's back. Melania can be seen wearing a sleeveless black midi dress paired with sunglasses ahead of the visit. Earlier, Melania Trump tweeted, "Today we are reminded of the tremendous sacrifices made by members of our armed forces. To all our Purple Heart recipients, on behalf of a grateful nation, we thank you for your service. Pure Play Hard Day." One Twitter user commented, "Thank you Melania, for being our wonderful and gracious First Lady and an American worth fighting for." Another said, "Thank you Mrs. Trump for gracefully representing the gratitude of all Americans for those who serve our country." A third added, "Thank you Flawless." Melania and Donald were boarding the plane ahead of their visit to Dayton, Ohio, where they will visit the community affected by the mass shooting. They will then visit El Paso, Texas, afterwards. It came after an attack on Saturday in a shopping center in El Paso, Texas, after a 21-year-old opened fire, killing 22. The second attack took place in Dayton, where a shooter killed 9 people in the city on Sunday morning. Many celebrities have spoken out about gun control in the wake of the attacks. Singer Lizzo said it was a close call for her family after the shooting in Ohio. She tweeted, "Just got off the phone with Fame in Dayton. It was a close call for them, but that's not the case for 9 other families between this and the terrorist attack in El Paso and recent other shootings. I feel completely helpless. Make noise and bring awareness. Vote. Don't normalize this." Speaking from Washington on Wednesday morning, Trump said, "I think my rhetoric brings people together. Our country is doing incredibly well. China is not doing well. If you look at the trade situation, China just admitted yesterday that they've been a currency manipulator, first time they've ever been called out. Companies are moving out of China by the thousands and our country's doing very well. During a speech from Washington on Monday, President Trump called for capital punishment to be delivered quickly and decisively and without years of delay for those who commit mass murders and hate crimes. The U.S. President said, "We must make sure that those judged to pose a grave risk to public safety do not have access to firearms. And if they do, those firearms can be taken through rapid due process. That's why I have called for red flag laws, also known as extreme risk protection orders. Today I am also directing the Department for Justice to propose legislation ensuring those who commit hate crimes and mass murders face the death penalty, and this capital punishment is delivered quickly, decisively and without years of needless delay. These are just a few of the areas of cooperation that we can pursue." He added, "I am open and ready to listen to discuss all ideas that will actually work and make a very big difference. Republicans and Democrats have proven we can join together in a bipartisan fashion to address this plague.